Now let's go to the callers. We have amazing calls. Most of them, believe it or not, are still about the Nevada standoff. The Nevada ranch standoff has excited the blogosphere. It has excited the radio waves. It has excited the radio waves and intimidated some in the government. But I can guarantee you that this is just the beginning of something new, and it's not going to get pretty in the future. I know something about draconian governments, and usually they get worse, not better. And Obama has the tendencies and the inclinations, as you know, of a petty tyrant. He talks real tough to the American people who know what he's all about, and he's obsequious to Putin, for example. He crawls on eggshells in front of Putin, talks like Mr. Professor, Mr. Milquetoast, but for the American people who oppose his left-wing fanaticism, we're the real enemy, and he's as mean as can be, using the IRS as a police force against us. You know it. So what's next is the question, and what would you like to talk about is the issue. The phone number is 855-407-282 on this and any other topic. I think I need to wisen you up to what this president is by. In a moment, I'm going to play Al Sharpton, who, if someone had ever told me that in my lifetime a street rat like him would be a presidential advisor, I'd say you're out of your mind. It's impossible for a street con man rat like him to be an advisor to presidents. The world is upside down the way it was under Mao Zedong. I told you that after the communists took over in China, they took peasants from the villages and made them into surgeons, and they took the surgeons and put them into the laundries. And when the little peasants couldn't perform surgery, the communist leaders said to them, "Why, you are a communist leader now. You can perform surgery." The girl says, "I don't know anything about medicine." She said, "Oh, no, you're a counter-revolutionary." And they took the girl out of the surgical ward. But the surgeons were put into the laundry. So now we have street garbage like Al Sharpton inside the White House. And the true American heroes, the true geniuses, the true patriots are locked out in the cold. Don't tell me I don't know what's going on. The man is a stone-hearted Maoist. Stone cold. Getting away with everything he can get away with, using the shuck and jive on everybody, and everyone's afraid to say a damn word to him. Because his shock troops, his SAC, anything you say is racism. Well, I got words for you. But I can't repeat them on the radio. I'll save it for another forum. Now that I've said that, I want you to listen to the presidential advisor and frequent White House guest Al Sharpton in clip 14.
The story of Jesus on the cross, no matter what they humiliated him with, no matter how they mocked him, he took it because he knew he could rise. And the story of Easter and my message for this Easter season is no matter what unearned suffering you go through, that if you know you can rise above it, don't become like the diseases that you fight. As I looked at President Obama at our convention last Friday, with all he took, he's been able to rise politically again. I'm not
on all of you.
Him to Jesus, but I am saying that to every crucifixion,
you've crucified the language itself. You have crucified the American people. You crucified the American language. You've crucified the word reverend. You crucified the detective Pagonis who you unfairly tried to screw with that Tawana Brawley. You are the crucifixion of the American people and of American truth. Only in America could somebody as low as this rise to such high places. And let me tell you something. A man is known by the company he keeps. It would be as though a right-wing president had won and invited David Duke into the White House repeatedly. Tell me what the press would say about that. Tell me what the press would say about somebody coming into the White House from the Ku Klux Klan over and over again. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is the equivalent. And my optic chiasma is not backwards. I can see things as they are. This is the most devious president in the history of this country. And he's not fooling me for 10 seconds. Not when he associates with someone of this low caliber and invites him into the White House and embraces him at a con man convention. And the press gives him a pass because the press is no better. And you wonder why people are angry? You wonder why they're willing to put on guns and go out to a ranch? You've seen nothing yet. You've seen nothing yet if this keeps up. You've seen nothing. You've seen nothing yet. I'm telling you, there's only a limit to what people will take until they snap. And on that note, we're going to the callers. WABC George, You're on the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Michael. I don't know why most people. It's not such a complicated subject. If you're a rancher who is basically homesteaded property, and your property has been in your family for 140 years, how else? What are you supposed to do? The government doesn't have any rights over it. And the second point is if they take away their land rights, that means they're coming after everybody's land rights under some technical law.
Well, that's all of what you said is true, but beneath the land and the prairie grass for the cattle, there is another story which I've been talking about, George, and that is the story of the rare earth minerals that have been ripped off and sold to China. That's the story beneath the story, and that's the one that hasn't come up yet. It has not yet bubbled up to the surface. The rare earth metals are now dominated by China, as I've told you before. Don't underestimate the Chinese. Never underestimate the Chinese people and the Chinese government. They have cornered the market on rare earth metals. Certainly, we still have them, by the way. Oh, yeah, we still have plenty of rare earth metals, but we're not mining them. See, we've been told that it's a dirty thing to mine the rare earth metals, and that the hippies in San Francisco and Austin, Texas, have told us you can't mine those metals. No, go to China for them, so that if you want to make an airplane that flies, or you want to make a submarine that can still navigate, go to your friends in China. Say the hippies who tell us that mining and refining the rare earths make an environmental mess. But China's been very happy to dominate global trade with its willingness to mine rare earths and to deal with the radioactive byproducts. They don't care that they're killing their people. Life means nothing to the communist Chinese. Nothing. Life means less to them than it does to the government in this country, a human life. You know, when I was a little boy, they used to tell me that in America, every life matters. And the reason American troops always won battles is because we respected human life. And they didn't, that they wasted human life like it meant nothing. Well, that was then, and this is now. See, the communists don't see individuals as having any value. They see them as sort of ants in a hive. And so in China, farmers near China's Baotou mine complain of dying crops, losing teeth, lost hair, high cancer rates. And, of course, the water tests show high levels of carcinogens in the area. That's the pollution from mining the rare earths. But here in America, we can still mine, and rising prices have now once again opened the door for rare earth mines in America, including the Mountain Pass, California mine. Yesterday, I spoke with you about the Molycorp Minerals mine, but you didn't understand the China connection. Yes, they've been allowed to reopen its pit at Mountain Pass, California, by an extra 300 feet over the next 30 years, which could boost global supplies of rare earths by 10% a year. But what you don't know is there's a China connection to Molycorp. You don't know that it was sold out, do you? No, you don't know that. So there's much more to the story than meets the eye. It's more about cattle and grass. It's more than about cattle and grass. You understand that? I hope you understand it by now. WJR, Ken. Go ahead, you're on the Savage Nation.
Hello, Michael. I'm calling about Bundy Ranch. I read an article, and I don't know how true it is, that Harry Reid's son is representing a company that wants to build a wind farm on that land.
Well, I know that Harry Reid's deeply involved in solar farms all over the Nevada desert. On the face of it, there's nothing wrong with that. But he seems to be rather obsessed with the Bundy land, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, when there's so much desert, what does he care so much about that little area for? That's what you have to ask yourself. If he's so obsessed with wind farms or solar farms, all right, good luck to him. They're entitled to do that. But why are they so obsessed with this little piece of land? So I say, I don't know, but maybe there's something under the land that we don't know about. We're all looking on the top, but maybe someone looked underneath, you know. You have to look into these things. 855-407-282. It's the Savage Nation. Let's take another quick caller. We're going to go to Las Vegas now, in the heart of Nevada, obviously, near the area where this occurred. Patty on KBET Line 7. You're on the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
Your accurate representation of the Bundy Ranch leaves out what the media didn't show. I was there. When our sheriff showed up 7 days later, He wanted to talk to Mr. Bundy privately. Bundy told him, no, you have 1 hour to return my cattle. Didn't happen. Mr. Bundy, the horse riders, the walkers went. The BLM got down, crouched position, pointed their guns at us. Disperse, we are prepared to use deadly force. The women, the children, we were all vested, stood in front. Go ahead, shoot.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was really scary. I just closed my eyes.
The fascists, these black-booted fascists under Obama are ready to shoot you?
They said, disperse, we are ready to use deadly force.
What a bunch of punks. What a bunch of punks in the BLM. Who are these men? Aren't these bums local men? Are these cowards with their flak jackets and high-powered guns, are they local men? Who are these goons?
These are government men from the Bureau of Land Management.
Where do these scum-sucking pigs come from?
They have a paycheck and they call themselves Bureau of Land Management. But it's worse. Harry Reid's former staffer is the head of the BLM. They want that land for wind tunnels. They want that land for solar. Rory, yes, you are 100% correct, is representing the company that wants that land. Harry Reid is just not stopping. He wants.
But wait a minute. Why is there so much money in a wind farm? What's that all about?
You know what? If Rory's getting a paycheck, does he really care if it's environmentally good or not? 27 head of cattle died, including calves, because they were denied the care of their mother. Mr. Bundy has not been reimbursed, and if we have to do it, we'll do it again. But
and you saying you women went out there with vests on and they were ready to shoot you?
Yeah, we all went. When Mr. Bundy said, I am going to get my cattle, every single person there, hundreds, walked down to where the barricades were. The BLM, crouch, ready, aim, fire position, disperse. We are prepared to use deadly.
Why did they not shoot? What do you think made them not shoot? These coward bums, Nazi fascists. What called them off?
They backed off.
But why did these cowardly scum back off?
Because they weren't going to shoot women and children. We walked in just quiet, just walked in front of the horsers.
You mean it would have been okay to shoot men, in other words? It would have been okay to shoot men. That would have been fine to Obama's goons?
They weren't going to shoot women and children. As soon as they saw women and children, all of us wearing vests, prepared to be shot.
Hold on. Patty's calling directly from Nevada. She was there. She's telling a story that you have to listen to. Your government agents, your scum-sucking pigs, who have been buying these 9mm hollow point rounds in the hundreds of millions. Now you know what they're for. Do you get it? I'll be right back.